Welcome to Pure Nostalgia Heaven. It's been over 27 years since The Mummy first hit theaters on May 7, 1999. And the absolute joy, the screams, the laughs, and the sheer adventure this cast brought into our lives are completely, utterly timeless. Do you remember that feeling? The sand dunes, the scarab beetles, the no, 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 yes energy Brendan Fraser gave us every single scene? This wasn't just a movie, it was the blockbuster that owned our summers, our sleepovers, and our hearts. Today, let's celebrate this legendary cast, share some amazing behind-the-scenes secrets, and see their beautiful updates in 2026. Brendan Fraser as Rick O'Connell. Bringing absolute joy at number 1 is the man, the myth, the legend, Brendan Fraser. When The Mummy hit theaters, Brendan was just 30 years old. In 2026, this incredible human being is 57 years young, and friends, he is living his most magnificent chapter yet. The smile anchor. Can we just talk about Rick O'Connell for a moment? That cocky grin, those forearms, that absolute refusal to die even when wrapped in bandages, chased by scarabs, and being hanged at the same time. Brendan brought a kind of warm, self-aware heroism to Rick that made the whole film feel like pure sunshine wrapped in adventure. He wasn't trying to be cool, he was cool, and that made all the difference. Wholesome updates. Oh, where do we even begin? After some difficult years in the 2010s, Brendan Fraser staged what fans are calling the most heartwarming comeback in Hollywood history. His deeply moving performance in The Whale, 2022, earned him the Academy Award for Best Actor, and the standing ovation he received in theaters around the world? Pure tears of joy. He followed that with a role in Martin Scorsese's Killers of the Flower Moon, 2023, alongside Leonardo DiCaprio. And here's the sweetest cherry on top. As of late 2025, a new Mummy film featuring Brendan and Rachel Weisz reprising their iconic roles was reported to be in development. The Fraisissance is real, it's beautiful, and we are so here for it. Rachel Weisz as Evelyn Carnahan. At number 2, the one who always made us laugh and swoon with equal measure, we have the brilliant Rachel Weisz. She was 28 years old when she stumbled into that library, knocked over every single bookshelf in a domino of absolute chaos, and stole all of our hearts in about 4 seconds flat. In 2026, Rachel is a radiant 56 years old. The smile anchor. Evelyn Carnahan is one of cinema's great heroines, not because she was perfect, but because she was wonderfully imperfect. That library scene, the way she straightens up and says, "I am a librarian," with all the dignity in the world after toppling an entire floor of shelves, pure gold. Rachel played Evie as someone who was simultaneously completely book-smart and hilariously unprepared for real-world chaos, and we loved every second of it. Wholesome updates. Rachel went on to win the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress for The Constant Gardener, 2005. So yes, our beloved Evie is also an Oscar winner. Thank you very much. She's continued delivering stunning performances in films and on stage, married actor Daniel Craig in 2011, and remains one of the most respected actresses working today. The news of a potential Mummy reunion has fans absolutely losing their minds with joy, and honestly, we completely understand. John Hannah as Jonathan Carnahan. At number 3, the one who always had us giggling from start to finish, we have the wonderfully funny Scottish treasure, John Hannah. Jonathan Carnahan might be cinema's greatest lovable coward, and John was 36 years old when he made us laugh until we cried. In 2026, he's a warm and wonderful 63 years old. The smile anchor. Jonathan Carnahan is that friend we all have, the one who absolutely should not be on this adventure, who knows it, and yet keeps showing up anyway because he can't resist the treasure. John Hannah played that sly, bumbling, self-serving but secretly sweet energy so perfectly that we could never be mad at him. His comedic timing was impeccable, and the fact that director Stephen Sommers originally didn't think he was even a comedian makes it even more delicious. Wholesome updates. John went on to become a genuine television star, playing the gloriously villainous Quintus Batiatus in Spartacus, Blood and Sand, 2010 to 2011. Quite the range from Jonathan. He's been a beloved narrator of the BBC's Race Across the World since 2019, and as of 2025 has narrated all 5 series. He's been happily married to actress Joanna Roth since 1996, and they have 2 children together. Still charming, still hilarious, still absolutely thriving. Arnold Vosloo as Imhotep. Next up at number 4 is the brilliantly commanding Arnold Vosloo. The man who made a 3,000-year-old mummy feel genuinely tragic and terrifying at the same time. Arnold was 36 years old when he brought Imhotep to life, and in 2026, he is a distinguished 63 years old. The Smile Anchor. Here's what's remarkable about Arnold's performance. He insisted on playing Imhotep absolutely straight, as a man genuinely in love, driven by heartbreak and desperate grief. He told Stephen Sommers, "From Imhotep's point of view, this is a skewed Romeo and Juliet." And that choice elevated the whole film. He even lost 10 to 15 pounds for the role. The result was a villain you could actually feel sorry for, which is a rare and beautiful thing. Wholesome updates. Arnold went on to reprise Imhotep in The Mummy Returns and continued building an impressive career, including the role of Zartan in G.I. Joe, The Rise of Cobra, 2009, and its sequel. He's also a passionate advocate for animal welfare alongside his wife. Looking absolutely distinguished and powerful in 2026, because of course he does. Kevin J. O'Connor as Benny Gabor. At number 5, the one whose sneaky, slimy, impossibly entertaining performance made Benny the character we love to absolutely despise. We have Kevin J. O'Connor. Kevin was 35 years old when he gave us Benny, that weaselly, treacherous, hilarious little opportunist. In 2026, Kevin is 62 years old. The Smile Anchor. Benny Gabor is one of the all-time great cinematic weasels. Every time he switched languages to find which one the mummy responded to, flipping through Hebrew, Arabic, Chinese, Hungarian, the absolute audacity of this man. Kevin played that panicked, sweaty, morally flexible energy with such commitment and comic genius that Benny became iconic. And his end? Poetic justice, delivered with the perfect amount of dark comedy. Wholesome updates. Kevin went on to reunite with director Stephen Sommers as Igor in Van Helsing, 2004. Because when you find your director, you keep coming back. He's continued working steadily in film and television, bringing his signature intensity and humor to every role. A true actor's actor who never phones it in. Oded Fehr as Ardeth Bey. At number 6, the one whose entrance made every single person in the theater sit up just a little straighter, we have the incredibly magnetic Oded Fehr. Oded was just 28 years old when he rode into our lives as the mysterious, intense, tattooed warrior Ardeth Bey. In 2026, he's a still absolutely captivating 55 years old. The Smile Anchor. Ardeth Bey was supposed to be a threat, the Medjai guardian who could mean danger for our heroes. And then he became our favorite character. Oded brought such gravity and genuine nobility to Ardeth that fans completely fell in love. The moment he strides in on horseback, coal-lined eyes scanning the horizon, and delivers his warning in that perfectly controlled voice. Timeless. Wholesome updates. Oded went on to reprise Ardeth Bey in The Mummy Returns and built a stellar career in television, including a standout role in Star Trek Discovery and the acclaimed series House of David, 2025. He's been happily married to Rhonda Tollefson since 2000, and they have 3 beautiful children together. Looking absolutely fantastic, as if Ardeth Bey himself never aged. Patricia Velasquez as Anck-su-namun. At number 7, the one who was so breathtakingly stunning in that golden body paint that the entire theater went silent, we have the beautiful and brilliant Patricia Velasquez. Patricia was 27 years old when she brought Imhotep's eternal love to life on screen. In 2026, she's a radiant 55 years old. The Smile Anchor. The opening of The Mummy belongs almost entirely to Patricia. She enters the scene in the most extraordinary makeup of the entire film, moves like she was born in ancient Egypt, and in just minutes conveys an entire tragic love story without saying a single word. She was also one of the highest-paid Latina supermodels in history before acting. Karl Lagerfeld himself called her a discovery. Beauty and talent, hand in hand. Wholesome updates. Patricia is not just an actress and a supermodel. She is also a deeply committed humanitarian. She founded the Weisz Taya Foundation to support indigenous children in Venezuela, serves on the UNESCO board, and has written a memoir about her journey. She's continued acting in films like The Curse of La Llorona, 2019, and Malignant, 2021. A true icon who proves that a beautiful life is built through kindness as much as talent. Jonathan Hyde as Dr. Alan Chamberlain. At number 8, the brilliantly funny, Australian-born British actor who gave us one of cinema's most wonderfully pompous Egyptologists, we have Jonathan Hyde. Jonathan was 50 years old when he played Dr. Chamberlain, which, fun fact, means he was also playing J. Bruce Ismay in Titanic at almost the same time. In 2026, he is a distinguished 77 years old. The Smile Anchor. Dr. Chamberlain is the kind of character who exists in adventure films to tell everyone else why their plan is terrible, and then get proved right in the most spectacular and unfortunate way possible. Jonathan played that smug, superior academic energy with absolute precision, and his expressions of pure horror as things went increasingly wrong were comedy gold. Wholesome updates. Jonathan is a Royal Shakespeare Company veteran, a RADA graduate, and one of Britain's most respected stage actors. He's continued working prolifically, including the memorable role of Eldritch Palmer in Guillermo del Toro's The Strain, 2014-2017, and Leslie Woodrow in The Brutalist, 2024. Still sharp, still brilliant, still one of the finest character actors in the business. Avari as the Curator. At number 9, the wonderfully expressive Avari, a character actor whose face you absolutely recognize from dozens of beloved films. Eric was 46 years old during filming, and in 2026, he's a wonderful 73 years old. The Smile Anchor. Eric brought warm, scholarly energy to the Cairo Museum Curator, and his reaction to the team's adventure, a mixture of horror, fascination, and resigned exasperation, was so relatable it was practically therapeutic. If you haven't already, go track down Eric's other work. He was also in Stargate, Independence Day, and Planet of the Apes. The man has been a quiet pillar of Hollywood for decades. Wholesome updates. Eric has kept his remarkable career going with roles in Heroes, Supernatural, and numerous other beloved productions. A graduate of the New York theater world and a man of genuine craft, he remains one of those wonderful actors who elevates every single scene he's in, still thriving and still brightening our screens. Omid Djalili as Warden Gad Hassan. At number 10, the comedian who delivered what might be the film's most purely joyful supporting performance, we have the hilarious Omid Djalili. Omid was 33 years old when he played the magnificently corrupt Warden Hassan, and in 2026, he is a brilliantly funny 60 years old. The Smile Anchor, Warden Hassan is perhaps the most cheerfully mercenary character in the entire film. He will absolutely execute you, but he also clearly has a great time doing it. And there's something about Omid's comedic commitment to that energy that makes you root for the Warden a little bit, which you absolutely shouldn't. His exit from the film is sudden and hilarious in equal measure. Wholesome updates. Omid has become one of the UK's most beloved stand-up comedians, with sold-out tours and his own BBC series. He appeared in Gladiator, 2000, Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again, 2018, and the BBC series His Dark Materials, 2019. He made history as the first comedian of Middle Eastern heritage to host a BBC comedy series, and the first non-white comedian to sell out the London Palladium. still making the whole world laugh and doing it brilliantly. Tuck Watkins as Dr. Burns. At number 11, the tall and charismatic Tuck Watkins, who played the wonderfully ill-fated Dr. Burns. Tuck was 32 years old during filming, and in 2026, he's a handsome 59 years old. The smile anchor. Poor Dr. Burns, he just wanted some treasure. Tuck brought a genuine adventurer's spirit to the role. You believed that Burns was in this for the excitement as much as the gold, which made his eventual fate hit with just the right blend of horror and tragic irony that The Mummy does so perfectly. Wholesome updates. Tuck became a beloved television presence, appearing on the long-running soap One Life to Live and the acclaimed series Desperate Housewives. He's continued working in film and TV and has been open and inspiring about his personal journey, becoming a positive voice for the LGBTQ+ community. Looking fantastic and living his best life in 2026. Corey Johnson as Daniels. At number 12, the immensely talented Corey Johnson, who played the American treasure hunter Daniels with such committed energy. Corey was 37 years old during filming, and in 2026, this prolific character actor is 64 years old. The smile anchor. Corey brought a wonderfully rough-around-the-edges American swagger to Daniels, the kind of guy who is absolutely certain he can handle whatever comes next, right up until he absolutely cannot. His reactions to the escalating supernatural chaos were some of the film's best unsung comedic moments. Wholesome updates. Corey has built one of the most quietly impressive careers in Hollywood. You've seen his face in Captain Phillips, 2013, The Mauritanian, 2021, Morbius, 2022, and dozens of other productions. A prolific, respected, and endlessly reliable presence in British and American film and television. Still going strong. Stephen Dunham as Henderson. At number 13, we pause to remember with deep warmth and gratitude the late, wonderful Stephen Dunham, who played the bright and earnest Henderson. Stephen was 34 years old during filming. He passed away on September 14, 2012, heartbreakingly, on his own 48th birthday, following a heart attack. Stephen Dunham had originally auditioned to play Rick O'Connell, and director Stephen Sommers liked him so much that he created a role for him on the spot. That says everything about the warmth and talent Stephen brought to every set he walked onto. He went on to work in Traffic, Catch Me If You Can, and Monster-in-Law, and was known by everyone around him as a generous, joyful, deeply kind human being. Though Stephen is no longer with us, the endless smiles he gave us, the loyalty and good-natured spirit he poured into Henderson will live on forever. We celebrate you, Stephen. Bernard Fox as Winston Havelock. At number 14, we celebrate with pure affection the beloved Bernard Fox, the wonderfully dashing Welsh character actor who played the gloriously eccentric pilot Winston Havelock. Bernard was 71 years old when he flew that plane into immortality. He passed away on December 14, 2016, at the magnificent age of 89. Winston Havelock is one of cinema's great brief appearances, the aging wartime pilot who says, essentially, "I have been waiting for a good fight all my life, and you know what? Today's a fine day to go out in one." And then does exactly that with a smile on his face. Bernard Fox played that scene with such warmth and dignity and joy that audiences fell in love with Winston in about 30 seconds flat. Bernard had a career spanning over 6 decades, beloved for Bewitched, Hogan's Heroes, and Titanic. He was a true artist and a true gentleman. Though Bernard is no longer with us, the endless laughs and smiles he gave us, across 60 years of films and television, will live on forever. Aharon Ipole as Pharaoh Seti I. At number 15, we honor the regal and commanding Aharon Ipole, born December 27, 1941, in Morocco, who brought Pharaoh Seti I to life with the full weight of ancient majesty. Aharon was 57 years old during filming. He passed away on June 27, 2016, at the age of 74 after a battle with cancer. Aharon had one of the most extraordinary life stories in Hollywood. He was born in Morocco, emigrated to Israel as a child, served in the Israeli army, studied theater in London, and eventually built a 50-year career that ranged from Fiddler on the Roof to Miami Vice to the Mummy franchise. His pharaoh Seti had genuine screen presence, the kind that makes you understand immediately why Imhotep's betrayal was so catastrophic. Though Aharon is no longer with us, the commanding grace and deep humanity he brought to every role he played will live on forever. And there you have it, friends. 27 years later, and this cast still has the absolute power to make us smile, laugh, gasp, and feel like we're 15 again sitting in a darkened theater with our whole lives ahead of us. What a gift this film was. What a cast. All right, true fans, it is confession time. Which character from this amazing cast always made you laugh the absolute hardest? Was it Jonathan's spectacular cowardice? Benny's magnificent treachery? Or did Omid's chaotic Warden Hassan live rent-free in your brain for decades? Drop your favorite funny moments in the comments. We want to read all of them. And here's your interactive challenge for today. Which quote is the most iconic moment of the entire film? Option A: "No harm ever came from reading a book," Evelyn Carnahan. Option B: "You're on my side? When you're right, Rick and Benny." Comment A or B. Thank you for sharing your smiles with us today. If this trip down memory lane filled your heart with joy the way it filled ours, please subscribe for more comforting, feel-good journeys back to the films that made us who we are. We'll see you in the next one.